Hi there, this is Genevieve with Princess Zelda Part 2, the color process. Here's my line art, and I'm going to start right in with the skin tones, and I've listed them down there for you. Getting a little bit fancier with my video skills. I almost always start with the skin tone. This part takes me the longest, and I like to get it done first, and then I can see how the other colors are going to fit with the skin tones. I like to cut into where the shadows are and layer lots of ink into those areas, and then leave lighter areas where I just go over lightly with the color where the light shines. So the areas on the nose and the cheeks are a little bit lighter. Copic markers are really great for layering color. Even just using one color, you can get a lot of depth and variation by going over areas multiple times with the same color. I'm filling in the base color, and again I'm leaving light spots on the collarbone. And that's about finished, so I'm going to come in with my darker shade, my Barley Beige, E11, and add in some shadows on the underside of the nose and where the nose casts a shadow onto the cheek. And kind of blend that up. Now the shadow under the crown on the forehead. And around the eyes and the creases of the eyelid. Nice deep shadow underneath the chin on the neck. A little around the collarbone and behind her hair. And then I go back with the E00 and kind of blend that in to soften the lines and just make the transitions nice and smooth. And I'm going to color her ear, which I forgot to do first when I was doing the base. Add shadow to that as well. Now the blush. I like to use E93 and then make it a little bit deeper with E95, and I use E000 to kind of blend that. And she's got blue eyes, so I'm using 3 shades of blue that kind of go together, B14, B16, and B18. It's darkest right underneath the lashes, and I use the lightest color to blend it all in again. A little bit different blue for the gems. I didn't want all of the blue to kind of look the same, and gives a little bit of variation there. I'm going to give her the whites of her eyes a little bit of shadow underneath the lashes with some just neutral gray tones. And I like to put a little gray on the eyelids to kind of be like eyeshadow. Give her a little smoky-eyed look. For gold, I really love to use Y23, Y26, and Y28. Y28 is the one that really sets it off. It's kind of a dark, dull yellow color, like a dark mustard almost. And it really makes it look gold rather than just yellow. This is the Y26. Deepen the shadows a little bit. And I'm blending with the light color again. Now I'm coming in with Y28. Just that nice deep color. Now it's really starting to look gold. Now that that's done, I'm blending again with the lightest yellow color. I'm using a E40, I think, for the bands on the hair. And I go in with the E42 just on the edges just to make it kind of look cylindrical because they're wrapped around the hair there. And I go back over it all with the E40 to blend. Now for the hair. I'm using the lightest color there, just in the areas where the light really hits the hair, so just the highlight areas. And I go back in with the second lightest color, which is really the base color here. And for this piece, I'm using E33 for the base. And I blend it up into the light areas. Fill in all those little triangles and pieces on the braids. And again, you can see it. I like to brush upward into the lighter areas or downward. And the same up top around the crown. And I use this to also fill in her eyebrows. I'm going to go in with my mid-tone, which is E35 here. I'm going back over those same areas, but I'm going to stay closer into where the shadows and not take it out quite as far as I did with the base color. This is where using the brush tip really comes in handy for the hair. If you brush along the lines of the flow of the hair, you can really give it good texture. Those tedious little braids. And now my darkest color, which is E25 here. And I like to brush up along the ink lines. I follow those lines to really highlight the pieces of the hair. Now I'm blending a little bit with the lighter shade. Giving a red jewel down there. And the lips. Again, I'm working lightest to darkest. Usually use 3 shades. And I always go back over and blend usually with the lightest color. Now she's done, and I like to do backgrounds, so usually just solid color. I decided on kind of a dusty purple for this, a lavender. So I lay down just a solid base. The chisel end is nice for this because it covers more in a shorter amount of time. I'm leaving a white outline around her. I'm going to go back in with a darker shade and just kind of blend, give it a little bit of depth around the edges and the corners. And blend that all with the light shade again. Lastly, I'm going to go in and add the catch lights or highlights. And I'm using a white gouache paint for this. Just add a couple spots around the gold to make it a little bit glossy. And the gems and the eyes. And that's it. Thanks for watching.